morning. Welcome to Radio Friends on Friday, July the 17th. Hope you're having a good day. And I've got my friend JOAN STACK in the studio with us today. We're seeing people that we haven't seen since February or March coming
right.
back here. But we're glad to have you here, JOAN, as we keep our distance and wear our masks coming into the building. And you're here to talk about the State Historical Society. And hopefully you're going to be reopening, right?
Yes, we'll be coordinating with the University of Missouri and with the City of Columbia to open safely. We're kind of hoping for August, but we'll have to see. I mean,
so you don't have a particular date at this point?
Not at this point. So I encourage people to go to our website at shsmo.org and keep an eye out for announcements.
Now, when you do reopen, there will be some restrictions, correct?
Well, that's right. In accordance with the city mask ordinance, of course, we'll require masks in the building. And then we'll also have floor signs to help people with social distancing. We'll encourage people. We'll be constantly washing down various surfaces and the like. So the same sorts of things you're seeing in other places.
Right. Now, you brought along several things that you wanted to show us today and talk about. So when you do open, we'll be looking at this, right?
Well, yeah. Well, what I want to talk about is things that you can still see at the State Historical Society virtually. Okay. And then I want to talk about an article that has appeared in the most recent edition, the July edition of Missouri Life, that talks about artworks, including artworks of the State Historical Society that help us understand our history.
All right, let's start first of all what you can still see virtually with the Historical Society.
Yes, I actually brought a screenshot from our website, and you can go to our website at shsmo.org, and you can see various programs that we're offering virtually. In fact, on July 22nd, we'll be having a program about sports in the 1920s, so about 100 years ago in Missouri. But this particular program is a program I gave in June, and it was all about a virtual tour of our new building. And a lot of people are very curious about the new architectural structure on Hitt Street. And, not on Hitt Street. That's where we used to be, sorry. Right. But on Elm Street is our new address. And you can see it here. And it's a pretty spectacular building. And I'll be talking about the exterior, the interior spaces, how the architects thought about Missouri's history and culture.
Now, this is all online?
Yes. And this, if you go to our web page, you can look it up. All about art, a program by JOAN STACK, the art curator at the State Historical Society.
And nobody knows more about art than JOAN STACK. I can tell you, you just let this lady start talking, and she can go on for hours talking about art. She's very, very knowledgeable.
And I kind of look at the building as a work of art. So this is a kind of an interesting way of looking at it. But I take you through the building. We walk up to the building. We look at the materials. We go through the building, look at the interior space. And so I think it's kind of a fun way, a fun introduction to our new building.
Okay.
And the other thing I wanted to talk about is I'm fortunate enough to have an article in Missouri Life magazine this July. And it's actually mentioned on the cover. It's 10 artworks that help us better understand our history.
Okay.
And here's the article inside the magazine. And the article includes 4 artworks at the State Historical Society of Missouri. So on over here you see William Clark. Now that one is actually over at the Mercantile Library in St. Louis. But over here you see a work in our collection. It is a representation by Carl Bodmer of 3 native people, including one member of the Missouri Nation.
Explain, what is the Missouri Nation?
Well, the Missouri Nation is the Indian peoples who gave our state its name and who gave the river its name, and they were native to this region.
So the Indian people who were native here gave Missouri its name
Yes.
and named the Missouri River.
Yeah, so that legacy is written on our maps and in our history and who we are.
Do you know what Missouri means?
I believe it means people of the big canoes, and it was actually in the language of a different native peoples.
Not of the Missouri Nation.
No.
But Missouri means people of the big canoes.
Yes, so
which means has to do with going down the river.
Yeah.
The big money on the canoes.
And they were big traders. They were important traders. And unfortunately, they were decimated by smallpox and also various wars that were going on. And they eventually integrated with the Oto people. And the Oto Missouri Nation still exists. And they have land in Oklahoma. But the Missouri people were still around in the 1830s when this image was made by Carl Bodemer. And it's an accident of history that this young man right here had his portrait made by this German artist.
Point to it again.
Yeah, it's this young man here. Yeah. And he was a young athletic youth. He's described as being very athletic. And he had come to trade. This was in the area of Council Bluffs, Iowa-Nebraska border. And he had come to trade, and he had his portrait made. He was not a chief. He was not a
and that
warrior.
Was unusual,
yes, and he wasn't a diplomat. He was just an ordinary person, and yet he's come to represent the Missouri people because there were not very many images made of him.
Back now, he would have been called a mover and shaker at the time. Right? But because he wasn't one of the elite, but he went ahead and he got things done, and he had his portrait taken. This is really very interesting, Joan, when you talk about the Missouri Nation. I think that's something that a lot of people are not aware of. And I had no idea what the word Missouri meant. So people of the big canoe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a real reminder, a lot of places and rivers and geographic areas are named for Native people throughout the United States.
Yeah.
And it's one of the reminders that we were not the first people here.
No, we weren't, were we? When I think back of some of the things that we did in the name of civilization, it makes me sad. But anyway, if people want more information, State Historical Society, you'll be reopening sometime in August. Look for it on the website. Take that virtual tour with Joan on the website. That address is, Joan?
At shsmo.org.
Okay. Thank you so much. Stay healthy, Joan.
Thanks.
And keep in mind, when you do go down there, of course, you wear your mask. If it's something you'd like to hear or see, we'd love to hear from you. Drop me an email, pepperp@missouri.edu. Have yourself a nice day. See you Monday. Bye-bye.